Hey, bunghole sniffers. Welcome to another episode of Bourbon and More Bourbon. I'm your host, Hunter from Tampa Bay, Florida, and we have a bonus video. I got a delivery today. A brown truck came in, and we have the very brand new 1792 Straight Rye. So, this is the first official rye in Barton's lineup. Historically, they have not had a rye in the 1792 lineup. Um, Currently, before this came out, they have small batch, bottled in bond, full proof, 12-year, and they just came out with an extended cask of finishes and a new 15-year that's duty free only at this time. Those I think are the current ones in the lineup. There's a few in the past, like the High Rye, the 225th anniversary. Warehouse H, I believe, is another finish one. A cognac finish is current. Port finish is an older one. Um, so very cool. Distilleries have been sourcing from Barton for years. Um, Most notably, High West in some of their older releases before they started using their own distillate. We're doing a lot of blends with MGP Ryes and Barton. They did do like a 16-year Barton Rye, I think, at one point. Kentucky Owl Ryes used to be sourced from Barton. At least I think the first two batches were. So check out my other video if you want to watch that Kentucky Owl Rye against the Old Carter. Um, and then very notably that I found out recently, good old Buffalo Trace does not use the Savarak mash bill for their E.H. Taylor Straight Rye. They're actually sourcing from Barton. So it even says on the back somewhere here, distilled, aged, and bottled by Old Fashioned Copper Distillery, and then it lists the DSP number for Barton. So maybe this might be a blend because it actually has both DSP numbers. But this might be Buffalo Trace and Barton Juice. So we're going to do a little comparison today because this one's going to a buddy of mine. And then I have a little sample bottle left of my last bottle. So, and if you want, we can also do. I tried something else new today. The enchilada from Taco Bell. Let's talk about that really quickly. That came back. No, just kidding. That was terrible. Um, I can see why it went away, but I ate it. It was okay. I survived. I'm still alive, so you can take from that. But we are not doing an enchilada review today. Um, Other than that, I don't know much about this bottle. We don't know the age. We know it is a straight rye, so it's at least 4 years old. I'm guessing between 4 years and 6 years. This is 100 proof, but it's not bottled in bond. The grains come from three different places. They're getting grain from Europe, Canada, and somewhere in the north part of United States, probably Kentucky. And yeah, really excited about this. $39.99 MSRP. Um, Barton, I think, is one of the most underrated distilleries. I think they make great stuff. Great places sourced from Barton. Um, let's see, Calumet Farms, Barton. Almost all the total wine bottles that they try to sell you, like the uh, what do you call it? The Chestnut Farms, Barton. Um, Calumet 18, all the Calumets, 15, 14, 16, 18. I know how to count. Those are all Barton. I love 1792 full proof picks. I think they get slept on. They perform awesome in blinds. I usually get them confused for stags in blinds. I typically like them better than Jack Daniel's barrel proof picks. Crazy because I love those too. Um, Elijah Craig barrel proofs. I still like the 1792 full proofs more, and they're cheaper, $40 to $50 in at least my area. I've seen them for higher. What really most places I see fairly priced 1792s, and I love the 12 year. That's just like 60 to 70 bucks. I need to get one this year. I think they just came back out. Other than that, really excited about the rye. Really hoping it's as good or if better than the E.H. Taylor. Maybe it's a nice um, cheap alternative. Hopefully the camera picks this up, but the one thing they do with their bottles is they do a different color for the neck label. So this one's kind of like a hunter green, and it's on the back label too. So always a sharp looking bottle. I love that all the bottles are basically the same except for the 1 liter bar bottles are like a bowling ball pin, bowling pin. Can't words speak clear. End of the day. Without further ado, I think we need to jump into this glass and take a little swim. So I've already had a little sip before I started the camera rolling, and I will tell you this is pretty nice. The oiliness, it's clinging to the glass. It's not the thickest, most viscous thing ever. It's only 100 proof and probably only 4 years old. The colors, very light amber. This glass looks dirty. Okay. So on the nose, it is very sweet. This does not smell bad. This does not really smell like a rye. It's a little funky though. A little earthy. It's a little herbal. There's a little bit of citrus, but it's sweet oak, cherry, and like burnt orange, vanilla. Oh, there we go. That was like a lemon oil. That was really strong lemon. I don't usually get lemon. It's not coming off super youthful. Let's go in for the taste. That's delicious. It's so sweet. It's got a little bit of spice. It's not very complex, but I'm getting a couple notes on it. Um, and they're staying there the whole time. It doesn't like you get 3 notes and then it changes and you get 3 other notes, and then it changes and you get 3 other notes. That's kind of like a complex nose to me, or on the palate, like a complex um, whiskey. This is just like everything all at once, getting those citrus, fresh citrus, oak, vanillas, maybe like a marzipan. Red, there's a tiny bit of red fruit, and I'm so glad it's there. Red fruit is one of my favorite things in whiskey. It's got a fresh, like maraschino cherry, and a little leathery. I'm so glad this was good because for $40, this is, you gotta get one. You gotta try one. This is such a good bourbon. Sorry, this is such a good budget rye. And Barton just knocking out of the park. Like, I don't know why people don't like Barton, or they don't look at them. They were so hard to find, the bonded and the full proof and the 12 year and the single barrel in my area. You couldn't get those. Now they're everywhere and they're so delicious. I've had single barrel store pick honey barrels that are just killer, and they don't break the bank. They're all over the place. Um, Sometimes Barton gets like that kind of banana note, like Old Forester and Jack Daniels too. So it's like a cheaper alternative to Old Forester and Jack. So I think, and this is one of the oldest distilleries too. So it's an old Legacy Distillery, still doing it well. My biggest knock on them is they need to reopen the visitor center and they need to do tours again because I want to go there and I want to check it out because they have beautiful grounds. I've seen pictures. It's in Bardstown, so it's by all these other distilleries. Come on, Barton 1792. You bring that back, man. Okay, let's take a little sip of some water and then we're going to compare it to the E.H. Taylor, which is not my favorite rye. It reminds me a lot of the Kentucky Owl. It is more on, I think, the herbal, um, minty side, which is what I'm straight getting out of this glass. It's kind of like the 1792. It's a little more complex, but it's got more grassy, herbal, minty freshness. Okay, so this is a more developed rye. This is smoother. It's sweeter and more complex, but you have to like the minty, like eucalyptus, almost like a herbal cilantro or something. Like there's stuff here that isn't for everybody, and you have to like those types of ryes. I think those are Kentucky ryes. With like Maryland ryes, you're not going to really get that, and there's a Pennsylvania ryes are like really herbal and bready. Um, so I usually like Kentucky ryes or Maryland ryes. Um, getting a little bit of oak, getting a little bit of cherry. This would have been a good one to put up against the Kentucky Owl because they are both kind of lower proof, and they're both, I think, Barton. At least majority of the blend is Barton. This one tastes like that Kentucky Owl. So if you can't find the Kentucky Owl rye, get this. But still, MSRP on the E.H. Taylor Straight Rye about $70. They're not gonna usually be that. You're gonna have to throw an arm and a leg in there too. Usually 80 to 120 bucks. Sometimes way more than that. You might never see these for under $200, which is a shame. I think 100 or under, if you like this profile, each Taylor Straight Rye is delicious. Now, we're talking about bargains here. We're talking about the 1792. Does this come close to the each Taylor Straight Rye? Yeah, I think if you want those sweeter flavors without getting into the weird minty, grassy, complicated ryes, $40 for this. I think this is going to be better for your cocktails, better for your sipping, better for people to get started into ryes. I think this is the new bargain starter or mid-level rye that could just totally get you into the category. Um, you start with this, then you try like an E.H. Taylor Straight Rye or something else, a Sagamore, a Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. Um, Wild Turkey ryes are pretty crazy and pretty good. Um, Dude, the private select picks of the Wild Turkey ryes are insane. Way off tangent here. Um, yes, delicious. Okay, let's get down to the nitty gritty, the brass tacks, the whole enchilada or the whole enchilito. Taco Bell, thank you for not killing me today through your food. Um, I am gonna give the E.H. Taylor Straight Rye 65 out of 100 bananas. Not my favorite. It's pretty good though. I'm enjoying it today, which sucks because I feel like most of the bottle I didn't really enjoy. So I'm kind of coming around on that profile, I think, over after, you know, only 16 years of drinking rye whiskey, finally really enjoying all the different types of it. Um, and let's get to the 1792. So we gave what, 65 out of 100 on the EH Taylor. Um, 63 out of 100. It's not a bad score. That's still a try and buy, and that's still like a daily sipper or a cocktail rye or a beginner rye. But we're not getting into a lot of complexity or age here. I would love to see them do foolproof versions of this. I want to see a 12-year straight rye by 1792, or a 15-year. But please, the duty free thing. I've never been out of the country, man. I'm never gonna find one of those unless you make them nationally available. So unless I can get one online or something. Um, yeah, this foolproof, maybe bump it up to 6, 7 years old, like $60. I'd buy that. I bet it would be phenomenal. Or a 12-year. I know those are a little bit lower proof, but they do a great job. So excited, glad. This is the kind of stuff that I go crazy over. It's not rye whiskey. It's when Legacy does extensions, brand extensions. They come out with a new something, okay? A totally new line that they didn't do before. So please, Four Roses, Maker's Mark, follow suit. I know Maker's Mark came out with Star Hill Farms, but come on, we want a Maker's Mark rye. Four Roses, we want a rye. I on the Tanyard Hill video, I said that's the highest rye whiskey we've done on the channel, and they've only been making rye for like 10 years. Yeah, Maker's Mark for like 60, 70 years only made one mash bill. Now they make Star Hill Farms. I know Barton's been doing this for a while and people have been sourcing their ryes, but thank you for actually putting it in this bottle shape, putting it at a fair price, and we're not paying like an overhead charge for the sourcing of it. So, it's not an extra $20, $30 to buy it from someone else. So that's really freaking cool. Yeah, keep doing stuff like that. Man, I'm just happy. I'm happy when the companies that I like do the thing I want them to do, because that's what we want. We want them to give the people what they want. Barton, you're doing it. Fairly respectable score. Each Taylor slightly wins. It's just smoother. It's just got more complexity. It's got more going for it. But this is just as good. Probably going to be way easier to find these. Maybe not at first, but hopefully in your area soon. Way more affordable, $40. Maybe don't bunker these. Just get one or two and leave some for the rest. But hopefully these will be pretty widely available soon. Um, Definitely look out for these. Definitely try them out. I'm really impressed with it. I'm really glad it didn't suck. Um, really love the flavors on this, and that's the whole enchilada. So please remember to subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a comment below. Tell me what you thought. Tell me what you want to see next, and tell me if you've gotten a chance to try this or the Each Taylor and the other bottles that we mentioned tonight. And if you love Taco Bell enchiladas, let me know. Tell me I'm stupid and I should give those another go.